Hey, how's it going? I'm Joe with Vet to Vet. Typically, I'm with Tom, and we have a podcast for you guys, and we talk about kind of the principles of business. Today, I want to do a short video on some technical aspects of starting your business. Something that not a lot of people talk about. Everybody talks about building your business plan and knowing who you are and coming up with a solution, but nobody ever really talks about kind of the technical side of it, the foundation of your business. So I want to go over just a brief start on what you need to do to create that business and to get it up and running. It's not real complicated. It's pretty easy to get going, and you can probably do it within a matter of about an hour. So the first thing we want to do is you want to establish basically your structure. Establishing your structure means you want to know whether you're going to be an LLC or you're going to be a corporation or you're going to be a sole proprietor. Each one has its own benefits. Depends on what you are looking for, which would determine how it would benefit you. The most common is an LLC, a limited liability company or a limited liability corporation, however you want to pronounce it or look at it. What that does is it actually limits the liability on you personally. So if your company, if you do something out there as your company, if something happens where somebody's going to seek retribution, they're coming after the LLC and not you personally. It doesn't totally absolve you from it. You can still be sued personally. Everybody can be. But the LLC kind of adds a layer of protection. A corporation is just that. It's a corporation. Like Tom and I, we have a corporation as well. And that corporation actually is a holding company for several of our other companies. So if that's something you want to do, you definitely want to research it. Get with probably a business attorney to help you try and set that up. But you can set them up on your own for sure. Sole proprietor is just that. It's a sole proprietorship. It's just you. Typically, it's your social security number that you set it up with. They pay you directly, but it gives you all of the liability on anything that you do. So say you're a plumber and you want to set up a sole proprietorship as a plumber and you go into a house and you bust a pipe inadvertently, unknowingly, and 3 weeks down the road, there's a foundation leak. And they're coming after you. Well, they don't come after your company, they come after you personally. So that's what a sole proprietor does. That's the liability of it. Again, the most common is a LLC. Super easy to set up. You're going to do that by filing articles of incorporation. Here in Arizona, you go to the Arizona Corporation Commission. You go onto their website. You will search out the name of your company. That's another thing that you have to do is set up a name. If you need help with names, Tom and I are pretty good at coming up with them. Usually nothing that anybody ever want to use. They're kind of funny. But anyways, come up with a good name. I got a whole spiel on what you should do for names. So just make sure it pertains to your business. If you're selling widgets, kind of have widgets somewhere in your name. Don't call it Turtle Petters and then you're building widgets because that's not going to be good. But anyways, file your articles of incorporation. You're going to go to the ACC. You're going to then search out the name. If the name is available, you can select that. You'll fill out all the documentation there online. You'll then submit payment. Of course, they need to be paid. You'll submit your payment, and then you'll get an email back, usually within 24 to 48 hours, saying that your corporation has been established. At that point, you now have a business. What you're going to need to do next, though, is you're going to need to file for an EIN. That's your tax ID, or a TIN or an EIN. So you're going to file for that. You can do that for free through irs.gov. There are plenty of websites out there that will charge you to do exactly what you can do for free on irs.gov. Keep that in mind. You do not have to pay to get your tax ID number. Mistakes were made. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that if you're going to sell a product that's going to require sales tax, that you register with the state for your state and local sales tax. Not everything that you do will require a sales tax. If you're providing a service, typically you don't have to file a state tax on that because there's There's usually not taxes on a service. Under some circumstances there are. You'll definitely want to talk to your accountant or a tax attorney to truly get an understanding on whether you're going to have to charge tax or not. But definitely want to get with the state or your local community to talk about taxes. Get those filed. If you're going to have an employee, and you're an employee, even one person or more, you need to make sure that you have filed for workers' comp. Now, as a sole proprietor, if you have other insurance, you're still required to file your workers' comp to get a workers' comp number. There are a lot of companies out there that they're the sole proprietor and they usually have their own health insurance or they're covered by a spouse, so they usually don't worry about it. But you are required to have workers' comp, so do make sure that you file that as well. You would do that when you set up for your state and local taxes as well. And then the last thing that you want to do is you want to set up a bank account. Again, with this advice, you want to make sure that you're talking with your accountant, talking with the business attorney to establish an account in the proper way. But you want to have a bank account set up so you're not commingling your funds with your company funds. Once you do that, you start to increase your liability going from a LLC back to a sole proprietorship. You don't want to mix your funds. So if you have I Make Widgets LLC, then there needs to be a bank account for I Make Widgets LLC, separate from your personal. Do not take draws out of your business account. Like if you want to go buy groceries or something, don't do that. That comes out of your personal account. Any money that goes in and out of that business account has to have a business reason. So even if it's like an owner's draw, you're good. Make sure your owner's draw is listed as an owner's draw. That comes out as your pay. That can go into your personal account and then you can use it there. But do not go buy groceries out of your business account. Do not go buy clothes, unless they're business clothes, out of your business account. Do not take your trip to Topgolf when it's not a business expense. Do not mix your funds. So those are some of the basics that you have. Again, establish your structure, file your articles of incorporation, get your EIN, register for your state and local taxes if it's required, establish your workers' comp number, and then open up your bank account. With those steps right there, you can now say you have a business. And from there, you can start applying all those principles that Tom and I always talk about. Hope that helps you guys. Take some notes, play it again, like, subscribe, and follow us. We're full of information. I'll catch you next time. Bye.